Well, ladies and gents, even Grace Randolph has to admit that the Marvels and Ms. Marvel is gonna bomb and was a bomb. So, the Marvels box office estimate's worse than The Flash. Apparently, behind closed doors, Marvel is freaking out. Yep, that's right. This is the third video I've done on this now, because we're getting updates as we go through this. And now even Grace Randolph has jumped in on this and said behind closed doors, Marvel is very scared. And they should be. But equally so, they shouldn't have made this in the first place. Because you had Ms. Marvel come out, you knew it was badly received, and it was. No, it doesn't matter how good you thought the show was, no one cared about it. So no one watched it. It got terrible viewing numbers. They then pushed it onto cable TV for free. Gave it away for free, and still people didn't want to watch it because no one cares about this. And then they built an entire movie which cost $300 million around the sequel to that show. What? So no, the chickens are coming home to roost on this one, Marvel. You deserve this. So let's have a look, right? More info is being revealed about Marvel's box office estimates and ticket sales as they are reported to be less than DC's The Flash, which was an astronomical failure. Astronomical failure, ladies and gents. Now, The Flash opened to $55 million domestically back in June and finished with a worldwide gross of $270.6 million. Guess what is also reported to open to around, well, actually, sub $55 million. That's right. Captain Marvel 2, The Marvels. Ha, not good. So when we said that there was lots of trouble behind closed doors, and I said, yeah, there's here's the leaks, lots of angsty people going on, sort of infighting behind closed doors, etc. I think this proves somewhat right anyway. So the other important thing to note is that the Marvel's pre-sales are down 70% from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That film only made money because of strong word of mouth. This won't have strong word of mouth. It can't possibly have that. And it's looking like at the moment the Marvels could open to around $39 million at the box office, which is significantly less than The Flash, obviously. Back in 2019, because Kevin Feige hyped the absolute piss out of Captain Marvel and lied to everyone, and this is the other thing, ladies and gents, because you lied to everyone, Kevin Feige, you've lost goodwill from the audience. So Captain Marvel opened to over $153.5 million and brought in $1.1 billion. Reportedly, there was some shenanigans going on with that, I think, anyway. But Marvel currently is afraid. So what's the latest? Well, Grace Randolph weighed in on this. And said, what's interesting to me is that Ms. Marvel is so bad. I'm amazed that she even admitted that, quite frankly. I'll give her some props. Incredible that she admitted that. But again, if everyone knows Ms. Marvel was terrible and the numbers were terrible, Marvel obviously knows that. Why did you even make this film as a follow-up to that? You absolute morons. Anyway, what's interesting to me is that Ms. Marvel is so bad, but I'll tell you something else. I'm going to tell you a little tea right now. I don't even know if I should, but I'll do it anyway. I heard the pre-sales from the Marvels the other day were so bad that they really scared Marvel. And they should. They absolutely should. They were as bad as the pre-sales for a recent, let's just say, a recent non-Marvel superhero movie. That's all I want to say because it'll be too tantalizing if I say what it actually was. I don't want it to be too big. It's The Flash. She even said it later on in another video. I had hinted a day before the story broke officially, which isn't actually true because the story had actually hit Box Office Theory first on Reddit, so that's not true. But anyway, that the Marvel's pre-sales were not going well. I had said they were lower or around the same place as a DC film. No, significantly less. And I didn't want to say what it was at the time, but since the story broke, it was The Flash. I heard it was on the level of The Flash. It's less than The Flash. Way less. Randolph continued in the first video with what she was told by insider sources. So Randolph said, the pre-sales are that bad, and I heard that Marvel was kind of freaking out about it. I had a source tell me that the pre-sales for the Marvels were like, they scared Marvel, they scared the MCU, and they should. They absolutely should. So regarding the ratings for Ms. Marvel, the series is the least watched MCU show on Disney Plus and was watched 65% less than Loki Season 1. So why would The Marvels, a movie that's a follow-up to that, do well? There's no interest in this. No one cares. Why would you spend $300 million on this? You morons. Just from a business perspective, that's a very unwise investment. I think when you see the numbers for Ms. Marvel in comparison, she says, I think that kind of makes sense, interestingly enough. It's not interesting. What's interesting is they poured $300 million into this. It's going to be really interesting. I was looking at the pre-sales. They were pretty bad. There are a lot of tickets available. Yeah, because no one cares. So Box Office Pro offers in their report about long-range box office estimates for the Marvels that the flick could open anywhere from $50 million, which is still less than The Flash, to $75 million. And I did a video on this as well. So they said initial pre-sales are alarmingly low for a Marvel Studios film. Trends are currently 69% behind the pace of Guardians Volume 3, 72% behind Quantumania. I mean, that film didn't do well, did it, ladies and gents? Quantumania was a bomb. And 42% behind Eternals. I mean, Eternals didn't do very well either, did it, ladies and gents? That was a bomb. Social media traction for the Marvels has been noticeably weak in recent months. Yeah, that's because no one cares. So even Grace Randolph has to admit it. Even Grace Randolph has to admit it. If this does flash numbers, I sincerely hope this is back to the drawing board for Marvel. Because you know what? I enjoyed some Marvel movies. I want them to be good again. You know, I don't... Look, doing these kind of videos, going, oh, it's a disaster and it bombing, blah, blah, blah. This isn't in an effort to sort of condemn them. It's in an effort to hopefully, you know, chronicle their rise to actually making good films again. But, I mean, if you do Flash money, Christ, you need to rethink. But they shouldn't have made this in the first place. It is such an unwise decision to do a follow-up to a series that was terribly reviewed, terribly received. No one watched it. And spend $300 million on it. Why would you do that? That's absolutely moronic. And again, like I said, even the likes of Grace Randolph have to admit that this is an epic failure of monumental proportions. So anyway, I'll hand it on over to you. What do you think? This could be... Well, if this does $270 million, this is the worst Marvel movie box office ever. This is a historic flop for Marvel. Anyway, leave your thoughts down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.